serious?
Hey guys, so welcome to the RE3 review. So Resident Evil 3 is a 2020 survival horror game developed and published by Capcom. It's a remake of the 1999 game Resident Evil 3 Nemesis and follows former elite agent Jill Valentine and mercenary Carlos as they attempt to find a vaccine and escape from a city that has been infected by a viral bioweapon. A creature called the Nemesis is the game's primary antagonist and pursues the player in key moments. He gradually mutates into more aggressive forms as the player defeats him during several encounters. The game has been praised for its compelling narrative, tense atmosphere, and its graphics. The game does an amazing job of recapturing the horror and tension of the original. It exceeds the original in presentation and storytelling. In terms of bugs, there were no real bugs and the game never crashed in my playthrough. The movement and fluidity has actually been improved upon from Resident Evil 2. The dodge ability was considered a welcome addition. Need to move! Oh, those combat dodges, Mark. You see that shit? Story-wise, the premise is very similar to RE2, but ultimately offers a bit more structure. Jill is represented fairly well here, and we get a decent idea of who she is through various cutscenes. Carlos is, however, almost a brick, but they both at least have clear objectives. Like its predecessor, there are tons of memorable moments, and the game has its share of jump scares. In terms of the boss fights, I honestly will give the game credit for doing its boss fights a bit more justice than RE2. I felt the fights were more unique, relying on certain weapons and environmental details to help get things done.
He's hiding behind Big One! Now! Rip that fucker apart!
Alright, so what it did well at was, it had a good narrative focus. The pacing of the game is also engaging from start to finish, continually switching up your objectives or throwing new things into in a way that kind of made it fun and entertaining as an experience. Criticism was primarily targeted at the game's short length and missing features from the original. I finished my entire first playthrough in 4 hours. 4 hours! One of the criticisms of the game is that the Nemesis is only active in a small portion of the game, and that he is primarily featured in scripted sequences or boss fights. Resident Evil 3 also lacks its predecessor's depth, because it places more emphasis on moment-to-moment action than exploration and puzzle solving. In terms of frustration, the game lacked replayability and is very short and expensive for what you get. Just a list of features that were cut from the remake of the game. There is no choice system, there are fewer and rearranged puzzles. A small section of the game, Stamichael's Clock Tower, and Raccoon Park, along with its associated boss battle, were completely removed. Giant spiders as an enemy type, blue herbs, and the mercenary mode. The environments are largely the same as RE2, with the police station, swamp, and lab areas making a return. Alright, so after having said all that, the final verdict is going to be a 5 out of 10. Originally I gave RE2 an 8 out of 10, and this game falls short of that in so many areas. That's not to say what you don't get isn't a polished and well-crafted experience. It's just that as soon as you get into it, it's over. And it just lacks that replayability and endgame content. So I think it deserves a 5 in that it's possible, but I wouldn't bother unless you can pick it up on a significant discount. Hey guys, thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, feel free to like or subscribe, and I'll check you all next time.